what is a game developer? It's not that simple of a question for some people, it seems. And something that's coming out of the Unity Godot conversation, because I see a lot of conversation around that, is a weird form of gatekeeping that we need to nip in the bud right away. So now what's happening is there's a lot of people telling game developers, just use Godot, just use Godot. Godot's fine. And some people will use it and it'll be great. It'll be perfect for the project. I'm not slagging on Godot at all, okay? But for some people, Godot is not the right choice. And some of the responses to that are just baffling to me. One is like, well, if you don't like it, you can just submit a fix. No, I'm never going to crack open some file and fix Godot when I want to make my game, right? You're getting confused with the tools, which are the engines and the utilities around the tools, and the goal. And the goal is to make games. Right now, you can pop open Unreal, use some blueprints, buy some stuff off the asset store, and you can make a game. Now, someone's going to scream, asset flip or whatever. Who cares? If you're expressing what you want to express, then you've succeeded, right? That's the goal. The goal is the expression of using these tools to make the game that you want to make that people can play and have an experience with. And that should always be the goal. And so a lot of engineers in particular like to gatekeep. And they're like, well, everyone should build literally, someone said this, everyone should build their own engine once. No, they shouldn't. In fact, I would say most engineers shouldn't, because that's a waste of their time, because they're not going to touch most of those systems. And they can have an understanding of it that doesn't include them building it. And in fact, normally when I see somebody who says that they've built an entire engine and why can't I get hired by a game company, I'm like, that's why, because you get lost in the detail and you're caught up in the tools and not the goals, right? The best engineers ask what the goal is always, right? And so they have an understanding of that, be it tools for other people to design the games, for themselves to design the games, or whatever, right? But that's the goal, is to make the game. So let's be really careful that we're not gatekeeping or using kind of charged language around this when we talk about these things. Again, Godot will be perfectly fine for a bunch of people and they can use it. But if you're going to publish on Xbox, it's not a good choice. The developers have made some comments about C# and some stuff about performance, which are problematic. But that's fine for a lot of how people are using it currently. But the bunch of developers that are coming from Unity aren't bad people, because they're not going to switch off of Unity. Unity's fine for what they're doing. It's a better choice. It has a more robust set of tools around it. It has a more robust marketplace around it. I think people often are like, well, I can make an engine. I'll make an engine and replace. No. It's the whole structure that's grown around these tools that have made them really interesting, that you can go to the marketplace and you can buy art, you can buy animations, you can buy all kinds of things that, I'll tell you what, you're going to be like, oh, well, everyone's just copying stuff. You cannot tell one run animation from another for the most part. I'm upset as a game developer that we did not utilize more pre-built run animations for our characters. Now the creatures, different. They're weird, they're strange, but people run the same. So like you can leverage those assets, and that's what those tools provide in spades. Now, you can use Construct. They have an asset store. Godot is an asset store. Like, they all have these now around them, right? And so you can use it, but it does not make a difference what tool you're using, be it GameMaker, Construct 3, Unreal, Unity, go crazy, Source 2. Whatever. It doesn't make a difference. But the goal is to make the game. The goal isn't to make the tools for the game. And so let's just admit that, right? Like, a game developer is somebody who makes games in all sets of things. They may never understand C++. They may never understand materials. That's okay, right? Like, you just don't need to know that anymore to express yourself. And so let's celebrate that the expression of what we can make and what we can experience and what we can play with exists out there now. And we don't need to all be, cracking open C++ and losing our minds. And God bless you for those who do, to empower the rest of us. We all thank you.